Hi, I'm Ravi Ambadi. I just coming up with this video to share a new information, interesting information with you all. Very recently, maybe a couple of weeks before, I've come across with an article in BBC. So when you go through the headline, it is very simple, and it may not feel it as an interesting one. It's like that. There was a book called Destinies of Soul. So basically, it's a French book. This book has been kept in the library of Harvard University. So they took out the book from the shelf, replaced the binding, and then kept it back. This was the article. But I there was an interest in me to why they should take out the book and why it should be touch the headline and all these things, hit the headline and all these things. So I went into the deep. Then I come across with a horrible practice which was existing in this planet Earth during 18th and 19th centuries. That particular practice, it is known as anthropodemic bibliopegy. Anthropodermic bibliopegy. Bibliopegy means it's a Greek word which means binding of books, etc., etc. And anthropodermic, as you may be aware, anthrop means it related to human beings, and dermic that refers to skin. Yes, that was the practice to cover the book or to bind the book with human skin. There was a practice, and this particular book it has been covered with a human skin instead of a paper binding. They used human skin to bind it. Actually, this particular book it has been written in 18th century by one French author called Arsène Jose, and he presented this book to one of his doctors, maybe his friend or his family doctor. Maybe he's a doctor, Ludovic Bouland, the doctor's name. So this doctor, what he did is, when one of his patients died, he peeled off the skin. Then after tanning the skin, he used it to bind the book. Many students, without knowing that it is bounded with human skin, they might have kept this particular book in their labs. They might have slept with this while reading. So many things might have happened in during all these years. Anyhow, they found it. They took out the skin from the book, replaced it with some paper binding, and they kept the skin totally in a different way. I mean, in a different part of the library as a monument or whatever it can call me. So this particular practice, that's what I'm going to say about. Anthropodermic bibliopegy, it was quite popular in 18th and 19th centuries. There are many books, mainly those are written by doctors or presented to doctors by the authors, have been found with this human skin binding. There are many books. There were many books also, and one of the what is a most famous one, or you can see even now in UK in the Bristol records, you can see one book which contains the trial details, court trial details of one person who has been accused in a murder case. His name is John Horwood. Sorry, John Horwood. So all the proceedings, court proceedings related to his trial, has been kept as a book, and it is the binding of the book or the book is covered with his own skin. This John Horwood skin. It is still kept in the Bristol records in UK. One surgeon, Richard Smith, he has done this particular binding. He peeled off the skin after tanning it. He bound the book with the human skin. So there are many things. There were many books like this. So in the modern century, I mean in the 20th century, by the beginning of the 20th century, people feel like it's not a good thing or it's a humane thing. So they try to find out such books and remove the binding and replace with paper skins. And in the preliminary examination, they found almost 50 books. 50 books has been found with the skin bounding, and out of that 31 books has been selected for further testing, further experiments, further testing. So in that 31, 18 books were having this human skin binding. 18 books, and the 13 were with animal skin. So many years have passed, and many people have touched on that. They might have kept it in rough, what is a rough spaces, and rough handling might have been happened. So to perform DNA test is very difficult. Still, they tried their level best and found that 18 books out of the 31 has been bounded with human skin. They removed all the thing and replaced it with paper skin. And now, even now, the search for such books are going on in all part of the world. Interestingly, during that Second World War, there was a common belief that Hitler used to take out the skins of the people who have died in that Holocaust, and he used to use this particular skins as a binding material for books. But that is totally a myth, no fact in that. During that period, there was no such practice called Anthropodermic Bibliopegy. But at the similar time, there is a belief that is not yet been proved whether it has happened or not. During French Revolution, it is believed that there were tanneries to for performing tanning on human skins to use the skin as a binding material for books. This is Anthropodermic Bibliopegy, the practice which was happened or which was existing during 17th and 18th and 19th centuries.